Welcome in, everybody. It's Main Street Today time. We have such a fun show planned. Middle Tennessee, out of all the places that I've lived, all the places that I've been, I have never known a place that is more giving. I am so excited that we have a few days of sunshine. Have you guys been out and enjoying the sunshine? Even the grass is starting to pop up, just even in a 24 hours from the deep freeze to a nice warm day, an entire weekend of rain. So you're going to want to look for some indoor activities that you can do. Well, I've got one that is really, really exciting, and I want to share it with you. My friends are the songwriters Don Sampson, Leslie Satcher, Ray Stevenson, and of course the lovely Discovery Emma Klein.
Some songs can hang around for a long time on a shelf. This song hung around for about 6 or 7 years on a shelf. We wrote this song, me and Big Al Anderson and Sheryl Crow. I wrote it about 6 years ago. And she just cut it on her new record, bless her little self. I knew it was a big deal, but I hadn't heard it yet, and my friend called me and got it on the radio a couple weeks back. He said, "Man, how many legends can you get on one song?" And I went, "What are you talking about?" He said, "My gosh," he said, "it's got Stevie Nicks on it." And I went, "Stevie Nicks?" He said, "Joe Walsh." I went, "What?" Vince Gill. A good looking boy. And then this little girl named Maren Morris. And then old Sheryl Crow. Well, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. You said if you left, I'd be drowning in a pool of tears. 'Cause without you, baby, I'd be sad and lonely. No one will love me around here. Well, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. Come on, Ray. Oh, now you told all your friends I wouldn't find a man like you. And I'd be going crazy, 'cause without you, baby, I wouldn't have nothing to do. Well, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. I got my mind made up and my high heels on. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. It wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much. Oh, it wouldn't take much. No, it wouldn't take much to prove you wrong. So much. Y'all should know that I practiced that song about 350 times today. And again, I made up words. You're getting all originals today. I'm just saying.
Well, just about one of the best hearts I know is joining us right now, Mr. Pat Embry. Hi, Pat.
Hi, Devin. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Welcome to our fun little party.
I'm great to be here, and I'll have you know, just like Dina Carter saying, "Did I shave my legs for this?" I actually shaved my chin for you because you're such a friend, and you know the life in the pandemic, you have to do what you have to do, and so when
Right.
I shaved today. It should be in the
Well,
headlines.
well, you know what? You look handsome, and I'm glad to have you
Oh,
here.
you
But
don't
I
get
bet
out
you look
much.
great with the beard and scruff too. I'm
No. Remember Bill Walton, the basketball player? My beard would look like that if I grew it that long.
all these amazing organizations that you bring together for something called the Big Payback.
Yes, well, we've done such a great. This is the 8th year for the Big Payback, Devin, and we've done such a great job of branding the Big Payback that a lot of folks don't know that it's actually one of our initiatives. But that's okay. We don't make a cent of money from it. It goes all directly to. Last year we had close to 1,000 nonprofits that participated. It's a one-day, 24-hour online giving event that goes to nonprofits in our 40-county region. It's one of the coolest thing of the gazillion things it seems like the Community Foundation does, and I can go into that in a second. But Big Payback's first on our minds because nonprofits who have not participated before, who have and haven't been in a while, we're still accepting applications through the end of March. So get on the stick out there, and most of the time when organizations participate in the Big Payback, they get at least $100 for just showing up. So go to thebigpayback.org. I will say that again one or two more times in our conversation to like that. Last year we were worried, as everybody was, since we host the event usually the first week of May, and this year it's going to be 6 p.m. May 5th. That's a Wednesday to 6 p.m. Thursday, May 6th. That Thursday. And we were worried with the pandemic hitting not long after the tornadoes struck last March that we would get lost in the shuffle. But then, as now folks realize out there are generous donors that these nonprofits need our help now more than ever. And so we set an event record of almost $4.4 million in the 24 hours, and hope to get close. But I don't, folks ask us all the time, how much do you think you'll get this year, Pat? And I go, I don't, that's not the object. The object's to have a successful event. And if you start competing against yourself, world record holders don't just sit down and try to better their world record. Just keep on going. If you have a successful event, you have a successful event. But our main goal through all this is to not only help these nonprofits, Devin, but to help them help themselves. One of the key things we do is there's a whole lot of training that we do, both live back in the day and now virtually. All that can be found on thebigpayback.org for participating nonprofits. Plus, we teach them how to do low dough or free social media for themselves, and so they're getting better and better every year. It's really rewarding, particularly the shops that are just one person, two person, handful of people, and particularly in the outlying counties, which I know Main Street, that's your stomping ground. So
Yes.
I'm really rely on my friends from the newspaper and the radio business, your publisher, and who I worked with at the Tennessean Lothies many years ago, and his extended family, and
Yes.
and you and I go back to the days when you were the House Foundation, and
Yes.
poor Duncan Stewart. If y'all were still rolling right now, he'd still be up on a billboard somewhere.
He probably would.
Given
Do you know
football fortunes.
he's doing sports in Reno, Nevada? He's still doing it. He is still out
Wow.
rocking it. Duncan is still
Reno 911. That's scary. Having seen that comedy TV show on Comedy Central, Duncan will fit right in. He doesn't have to change anything.
not a thing. Not a thing. Hey, I've got a clip from last year's Big Payback, a sizzle reel of what it kind of looks like. Now, ignore the dates because this is during 2020, but this is just kind of an idea of when you get a bunch of people with good hearts together with a community foundation for the Big Payback. And like I said, ignore those dates because this year it's a different date. But I love that. I love that sizzle reel because it showed the reason that I love the Big Payback is I'm not made of money, so I can't make these big donations, but I give $5 to my friends at Old Friends Sanctuary for Senior Animals, which is my heart. They participate every year. And that's one of my places, and Pet Community Center and Rest Stop Ministries. They all participate. And if certain hours they do things like matching grants from businesses that join in, how does that work?
Well, that's arranged through either through the corporations themselves and the vast bulk of what the corporations do for us and the Big Payback, Devin, is they provide the money for both training as well as for the prize, the contest we have just to add excitement to the event. We have the organizations fall into three categories: small, medium, large. We can make it more fair. It's not fair for us, a very, very small operation, to be competing against the big girls and boys. And so they'll provide it. So say there's most donations between midnight and 2 a.m. on the 6th, that early Thursday morning. Then they'll make a big push to their donors, and they can pick up extra cash donations that way. That's how that works. But to echo what you said, if you go to the bigpayback.org, one, people are just fascinated by that running tote board. And that's it's included on our billboards in town and across Middle Tennessee, and it's just fascinating to watch. It reminds me, to show my age, it reminds me of the Jerry Lewis telethon and how that tote board went on Labor Day weekends. But it's so easy to give any dollar amounts, but particularly small dollar amounts, for $10. I know I always take, like you, and being a journalist, I'm not made of money either. That you can go like you're ordering restaurant ordering sushi at a sushi joint. When we still went and did those things regularly, is you just go down the list and then find your California roll, which your equivalent would be the old dogs and Mount Juliet, and then just click there and continue clicking until you feel like you've had enough, and then you may want to go back and say, oh, I forgot such and such. And the great thing is you can give, feel better about it, know it's all going directly to that nonprofit, and then we handle all the back end, all the tax returns and all that sort of stuff are self-generated, and your credit card information and all. You do get a credit card fee, but shoot, we get that for everything. So I think people are used to that. So, but yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. And again, I've seen the successful events we've had in years past, and you can tell it's a successful event when you get people dress in goofy costumes. That's one of my goals. How goofy can people get? But we were worried about that. We're not having any live events this year, of course, like last year because of the pandemic still. But when we got over our anxiety about it and remembered, oh, this has always been an online only event, then it makes more sense. And then we do have a prize patrol for folks who win those time slots, and we used to do that with a limo service that would donate their limo, but this past year we did it virtually, and it just so happens that Titan's great and an idol of at least every male and particularly female in the greater Nashville Middle Tennessee region. Eddie George is on our board and is nice enough to give us an hour or two of his time during the big payback. And like when it's live and in person, particularly the female donors just lose their minds when old Eddie pops up. I mean, he is one good-looking rascal and larger than life and funny and gracious, and so we're hoping to connect, get him to do that again this year. So it's so much fun.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you said that, because Jerry House, every time I see Eddie George, and I ran into him at an event, I said, "Oh, Eddie George, a pretty, pretty man." That is what Jerry used to say about him. Yeah. And it's true. And he's still a pretty, pretty man.
He is pretty. I have to tell my wife, Trish, she sat next to him at a nonprofit dinner of some sort years ago, and I arranged so she sits right next to Eddie because she was bugging to do it. And I've met Eddie several times and played in his golf tournament and so on and so forth. And I used to be a sports writer, so I'm not that excited any more than you'd be excited running a country music star. That's what you do, right? But anyway, she sits there, and I swear, Devin, there about every third woman that passed rubbed his head, just rubbed his bald head, like he looks like he looks like Mr. Clean, only in real life, right? I mean, he's just and so my wife turns to him, and she may have had a beverage or two, and she said, so Eddie, did you play college football too? He goes, "Yes, ma'am, I did." I had to lean down and say, "Honey, he won the Heisman Trophy as the best college football player in the country in college." So she had to. It's all, it's everything's relative, right? And
it truly is.
Yeah.
But I bet to Eddie, he's such a charmer. I bet it was endearing to him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, particularly from a pretty woman. No, that's perfect, because for every one person that does that, there are 16 particularly guys that want to talk to him about how he ran off tackle on that play against Houston and and 2000, like,
We got some folks checking in. Cheryl LaValle says, "Love sharing your interviews. I love them. Keep me informed. Thanks for all you do." We thank you, Cheryl, for listening. My insurance guy out in Smyrna, Tennessee, Marty Luffman from State Farm. And we have a lot of people who check in with us on our Main Street Today page. I wanted to ask you, before I get out of here, real quick, you have the Community Foundation. If someone wanted to start a nonprofit, but they didn't want all the responsibility of everything, I know that a couple of country music stars have used your help in the nonprofit sector. They come to you and say, "Hey, I've got a fund I want to start." Can you help with that?
Oh, absolutely. And we've had a growing contingent of entertainers in recent years, in particular since my old pal Rondell Richardson, who's worked with Garth Brooks and the Judds, just to name a few. And it is really, really easy. Just call us at the office, 321-4939, and tell us what you want, and we'll get you connected. It is really rewarding. Chris Stapleton in recent years, and Tyler Childers, Kings of Leon. A list goes on of folks who it's all well and good to have your foundation, and I love the fact that entertainers do that, but the paperwork can really, really weigh you down. And because we have initiatives like givingmatters.com, which is we started 15 years ago. It's kind of a good housekeeping seal of approval for nonprofits. So you have
Right.
to file your 901c3s and keep it up to date and all that. In fact, you have to do that in order to participate in the big payback. So it's the little a carrot on the stick to keep folks updated. Because lots of folks want to start a nonprofit, but in the case of, say, it's the East Nashville tornadoes of 2007, say, as opposed to the ones this past year, some of those nonprofits that started, most of those are all gone because they served their purpose and all that. And so nobody, just like when I was at the newspapers for 25 years, when some business closed, they don't necessarily call you. And so when a nonprofit closes, they don't necessarily call you either. So you could rest assured we've vetted the nonprofits. It's part of our mission beyond connecting generosity with need throughout the region, is that we also look for overlap in nonprofits. We help them work with each other. That's been particularly apparent through the tornado. We're the philanthropic arm for the tornadoes in the hit the hardest in Davidson and Wilson and Putnam counties. But it is so rewarding, and I'm in the process. A bunch of us are in the process of filing our first year. It's been that long, first year anniversary of the tornadoes, and just how much these nonprofits and churches and schools all work together. I meant to say, it's not only nonprofits that can participate in the big payback, Devin, but it's also churches and schools. So they qualify as nonprofits. So please, anyone who's interested, and please come to us and get registered. Any of your corporate friends and all those out in the mid-state that would like to be sponsors, we're still accept. We have a whole sponsorship deck set up, and we would love to have you. We've had a lot of existing partners that have stayed with us through this being our 8th year, but we can always use more, and it's really a great way, given it's one of the few times that I buy a bunch of media through the year, including Main Street, that I can spend some money and spread the word. And as you well know, as journalists, we're loudmouths, so I can get you out there in your logos and all that stuff in a hurry. And it's great to be attached to this event. Really is.
It's where it is one of my favorite days. This and Giving Tuesday are the days that your money goes farther. And so it's coming up May 5th. But get in 5th and 6th. And so make sure that you get to the bigpayback.org, the Community Foundation doing great things for Tennessee. And thank you so much, Pat. I appreciate you.
Have me anytime. If I don't know something about the subject, I'll make it up. You're used to that. that crew you've worked with through the years.
It's good to see you. Bye-bye.
Right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. We have a great artist that's online. I cannot wait to introduce you to Miss Kinsey Rose, and maybe she's going to have her puppy dog with her. But before that, we're going to head to Murfreesboro with my friend Big J from Monster Home Services.
Big J, Monster Home Services, about to get it done again. We're going to make something absolutely stunning here in Murfreesboro. Check this out. We're going to take this whole thing, this great little patio out here, entertainment area, and we are going to turn this baby into a 4-season glass, beautiful, with double sliding doors. We're going to have windows all the way around it. We're going to put as much glass as we can in it. It's going to be awesome. Hey, if you've been thinking about doing a patio project, you need to get in touch with me, Big J, Monster Home Services. Hey, I own the place. I don't hire salespeople, so there's no salespeople involved. You don't have to worry about the pushy, commission-based guys out there. You got to do it right now. Hey, call me. We'll see if we can make your dream come true. If we can't, hey, no big whoop. We made a friend. Call Monster Home Services, 615-509-4375. Monster Home Services. I own the place. You're going to get the best deal. Call me. We're going to make something pretty for you.
Kinsey.
Hello. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I knew. Let's see this baby.
I got a special guest. I had to bring him on. This is
Oh,
the 14-year-old Schnoodle. He just had a birthday.
a schnoodle.
A Schnoodle.
Schnauzer poodle?
Yes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. That's like the perfect mix.
He is a perfect little dog.
You take him with you on the road. You take him with you just about everywhere you go, don't you?
I do. Everywhere that I can possibly take him. I haven't taken him. I used to fly overseas a lot. He hasn't been on the plane, but he's a great travel dog, great little companion. So he just wanted to say hello.
I'm so glad. I am so glad. Well, I met you with our mutual friend, Tyler Gummersall, and I'm the person who sang the harmony on the song that he and I wrote because he was going to make me do it, and it scared me too bad to be in the studio.
Do you know what? I'm going to the studio today to do background vocals for Tyler.
What?
That's crazy. He's doing a new song. It's really nice. I forgot the title of it, but before we had our meeting, I was listening to the song to try to learn it. But that's who I'm going to the studio for today.
Well, he told me, he said, you're going to get to meet my favorite singer. And so he was so excited to introduce us. If you guys don't know, Tyler Gummersall is a wonderful country and Western artist. He's a rancher from Colorado and does incredibly well. We met, he was delivering hay to my house and he handed me a CD and I thought, you're so cute. I hope it's good because you really are pretty. And then he introduced me to you, and I just adore both of you so much. I follow you on Instagram, and boy, have you had some adventures.
I love adventures. I also love following you on Instagram, and I want to meet the little pig.
Everybody loves Barney. Barney, the hero pig, is joyful. I got a new rooster yesterday.
Oh, good. Does it wake you up?
No, nothing wakes me up if I actually ever go to sleep. But he is one that's all solid black. I mean, even his comb is black. He's the cutest thing.
Oh,
cutest thing.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. I always celebrate on Angel Horse Farm the new arrivals, and but I want to talk to you a little bit about how your music has developed over this. You've been very creative during 2020.
Well, I kind of had to be. Kind of had to get creative to survive. So before the pandemic hit, I had a lot of cool plans. I was going to play in some countries I'd never played in. I love to travel and I love playing overseas. I love playing in states just as much, but I love culture and I love just like traveling. So I was going to go to Japan to play. I was going to play in Switzerland. I had several gigs and festivals in Norway, in Denmark, and England. And shows, I played at Legends Corner every Mondays for like 10 years and everything just kind of I woke up and it was gone. And so, it was like a big shock and I just did what I could to stay creative and to keep some momentum going. And so my people that liked my music wouldn't forget me. So I've been creative and there's been good out of it, even though it's been hard.
I've watched the creativity of Music City. I'm going to predict right now the renaissance that followed the Black Plague and the horrible pandemic of that year, and the Roaring '20s that had so much creativity and music, and everything exploded after the Spanish flu. I believe that our next 5 years are going to be explosive when it comes to creativity, art, books, music, because we've had the time to slow down.
I think it's so important. I think this is a great lesson. And when things do start to pick up, I think we have to remember this time out that we had and to continue to give ourselves time out. I was watching today, there was a songwriter that said, it's okay to stop, like to not be creative for a little while and go do something else. So this time I've actually learned how to be a little better cook. I still burn things, but I've tried new recipes and I've been working on my fitness a little bit more and I've had a lot of time with my dog and it's just been, and family too. So it's been good because otherwise I would have been go. I would have been gone. I would have been, who knows, so you just have to take the good out of it. And I know things are going to come back, but we still need to remember this time and to learn from it and give ourselves, we have to find peace when we're busy. So that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned from this is that be content also with what you have and make the best of it. So
the song that we're about to play is so inspiring, and it wraps around you like a hug. Where did this song come from?
I wrote this song with Buddy Owens, who's a wonderful writer in person. And we were sitting down one day. I had an idea. There was someone special to me on my heart that day that was going through a really hard time. And sometimes when people are going through a hard time, you want to be able to just like fix it or take their, like, make it be me. But sometimes the only thing we can really do is just to pray for them and to just know that we care. And I think this song at the time was meant for that person. But it's also, I've gotten so many messages saying, thank you for this song. It helped me get through this hard time. And that's been really cool. And I've done some Facebook Lives, and my most requested song was Somebody's Praying, because I think we all need prayer and hope. And I think this song is a great outlet for a good way to do that.
When your day looks dark and you're falling apart and you've got no one to turn to, when there's no way out of your fears and doubts, your past keeps trying to haunt you. When the nighttime comes and you're running from your ghost, you're scared to death and alone. I hope you know somebody's calling tonight, and somebody's asking God to fight your fight. I won't pretend to know what kind of hell you're going through. Somebody's out there and praying for you. I know you're strong, you've been kicking down walls and crawling over the mountains. You've hid the pain, you stay the rain, and the thunder keeps on crashing. Sometimes a heart can't win a war all by itself. Even the toughest sometimes needs a little help. Somebody's calling on the angels tonight, and somebody's asking God to fight your fight. I won't pretend to know what kind of hell
Okay, it's time for the ugly cry. I'm going to just tell you. That is a powerful song. That is an anthem that everybody needs to start in their day with.
I think it's an act of love to know that somebody's praying for you and is walking beside you. I'm trying not to cry too. I got a phone call yesterday from a dear friend who just learned he has stage 4 cancer. And I was like, what do you say? And I was just like, I'm going to walk beside you, be there for you as much as you want. And I'm going to pray for you. So I was just like, I have to send him that song. So a lot of people need prayer. And I think that's a huge act of love that we can do. And it's so easy. It's so easy to remember somebody and to pray for them.
I have often heard, so well, all I can do is pray for them. And I'm going, man, that's the most powerful tool in our little toolbox is our prayers. And it's powerful. And you have blessed us today with your presence and with this gift of this song.
Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to it and sharing it.
Well, everybody share this on your pages. Man, our social media went nuts as we started sharing it. Michelle Henry, great song, great reminder that someone always is praying. And Cheryl wants to know, I want to sing this in my church. Is this song out?
Yes, Cheryl, it is out. I'm happy to get you the track to it, or if you want to sing it without the track and do your own version, that's totally fine. You can find all my music under my artist name on iTunes, Spotify, all of the social media outlets. It's called Somebody's Praying. The title of the CD is called Fairweather Love. There's 11 songs on it, but it is on there.
It is a message that needs to be repeated. Well, thank you so much for being part of our show today. And we just are so grateful for this gift.
I'm so grateful to be on here. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much. We always do. We do a replay of this show. I kind of clean up our freeze ups and stuff like that. And then I re-air it on all of our Main Street pages. So wherever you are, share and follow along and always click like on the artists that we have, the businesses that we share, and the pages where you see this, because that's the way we get to keep doing what we do.
And thank you so much, Devin. We love you.
All right. Love you too. Bye, Kinsey. Bye. And tell Tyler I said, hey.
I sure will.
Thanks. Bye. Oh, I just love her. And I also love, before we get out of here, got a quick check-in with my friend, Health Insurance Harvey. If you don't know what your insurance will cover, don't wait till you need it to find out. If you find yourself in need of health insurance, one Google search and a questionnaire could start your phone ringing and those emails and those texts coming from companies all over. And it can be really confusing. And sometimes you get caught up in buying something only to find that it covers very little of what you actually need. And sometimes it can be too late to do anything about it. After the fact, like when you need your insurance. That's why one click to my friend, my insurance guy, Health Insurance Harvey, can keep that from happening. HarveyDurham.com. Chat with him, set up a virtual appointment anywhere in the country practically. He's licensed in 40 states. He'll look at your needs, your budget, and share every single thing that his insurance is going to cover and what it won't. You don't pay for what you don't need. If he can't save you money or can't give you better coverage, he won't sign you. You are under no obligation. So do yourself a favor. Get a free comparison quote from Health Insurance Harvey. It just might work for you like it did me. I'm not his commercial announcer. I'm his client. At HarveyDurham.com. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, be safe, be kind, and remember, you are loved.